Hey guys, it's Ino with MMOattack.com, and today we'll be previewing Warlock, Master of the Arcane, a new turn-based strategy game by Paradox Interactive and developed by Ino-Co. When I first loaded up the beta of Warlock, I instantly thought, okay, this is a Civilization V clone, which is true in some sense, but hardly a bad thing. Some of the similarities to Civ 5 include how the UI is laid out on the main screen, how units level, and unstacked combat happening on the hexes. I'm sure we could dig up more similarities, but you guys get the idea. Now, here's where I started to get a little giddy. Back in the early 90s, I had the pleasure of playing a DOS game called Master of Magic. It was such an amazing experience that I still think about the game to this day. Warlock has many elements of Master of Magic, and it's made me fall in love with the game even more. Spells, yes, you get to cast spells during your turns that affect the flow of the game. Spells are researched randomly each playthrough, and when complete, they go into your spellbook. From there, they can be cast at any time during your turn. Low-level spells can sometimes be cast twice in one turn, but higher-level spells may need multiple turns to cast. The ultimate spell, Unity, will instantly win the game for you, but it takes a massive amount of turns to research and cast. Maybe you're not into casting spells and just want to devour the land with your ratmen. Well, you can do that too. There's 3 races in Warlock: humans, monsters, and the undead. Each gains different buildings, units, and unit upgrades, but spells are shared across all Warlocks. The differences can be huge. One of my favorite changes is, instead of having a normal siege unit that fires from range, the monster race utilizes trolls, which do strong siege damage in melee range. To compensate for being in the line of fire, they have a per-turn regeneration boost. Another great feature is the inclusion of separate planes of existence for exploring and monster combat. Scattered throughout the main world are portals, guarded by powerful elementals, that, when entered, teleport you to a different plane with hordes of monsters ready to take you on. Now, during my play, the only reason I found for going to these planes was to level my units, but I'm sure in the full release there will be other objectives and incentives to travel to these new worlds. The only real issue I take with the game is the lack of stacked unit combat. Having groups of units adds a lot of depth to the battle system, and it could have made Warlock that much better. The single unit per hex system works well, but makes battles seem less epic. All of these details culminate into a masterful turn-based strategy game that will appeal to players of any skill level. While more hardcore players may be frustrated with the lack of stacked units, it doesn't detract too much from the fantastic gameplay in Warlock. Warlock Master of the Arcane will be available on May 8th, 2012 on Windows DVD and through Steam for Windows. After the release, I'll have the pleasure of returning to the full game and giving a more in-depth review. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out MMOattack.com for all the latest gaming news. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/MMOattackGames, and follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/MMOattack.
The great mage has achieved a great victory. All leaders and all races have bent their knees before him, and under his wise rule, Ardania will remember at last what the words peace and order truly mean.